Hello everybody, my name is William and welcome back to another Roblox Bee Swarm Simulator video where today I would like to talk about Red Hives and what you need to get a Red Hive and how you need to run it. So first I'd like to talk about the items that you are going to need for a Red Hive. Then we'll talk about hives. But first, this is the most important part. You are going to need the Demon Mask for this because it provides with the X-Flame passive and the Ignite passive. They don't make that big of an impact, but believe me, you'll want it because of those buffs. Not just because of the passives, but because of the buffs that the mask provides are very, very useful and very, very, very essential. So be sure to get a Demon Mask. Now, another thing, this is literally practically the most essential item, other than your hive. Well, actually, no, this is more essential than the hive itself. Now, this is the Supreme Star Amulet, and everyone knows what it does. It provides a bunch of passive abilities. There is a passive ability on it called Scorching Star, which I will explain why you need it and what it does in just a sec. But yeah, this is 40 gifted bee types, not 40 gifted bees. And yeah, it's very useful. It's 10 billion honey. So you can go ahead and get the Scorching Star from it. It is essential for this. Now, talking about bees, what bees do you need? You're going to need the basic bee, because the basic bee provides times 1.2 extra pollen, which is very useful in any color hive, mixed, hybrid, whatever you want to do. White, red, blue, whatever. Bomber bee, you're going to want a bomber bee for that 15% extra bomb pollen, because you are going to get a lot of red bomb tokens. Brave bee, I don't know about the brave bee. I'm not sure if you entirely need it. The brave bee is, you can have it if you're going to be attacking, but if you're not going to be attacking, do not get a gifted brave bee. If you want to go for like the most honey possible, don't get a brave bee. Well, gifted brave bee, that is. Bumblebee, you are quite obviously not going to need because it is a blue bee, and especially you're going not to need blah English. I can't speak English. Okay, but yeah. You really don't need Cool Bee. It's 10% extra blue pollen. Why do I even need to explain that? Anyways, Hasty Bee. You don't entirely need a Hasty Bee. I actually know. No, yeah, you do. Keep a Hasty Bee. Keep a Hasty Bee. They are useful. Keep a Hasty Bee. Yes, gifted Hasty Bee. Yes. Yes. Looker Bee, you're gonna want a gifted Looker Bee because of that extra 50% critical power, which will definitely add on to your pollen gathering by a lot. You're going to need gifted Rad Bee for extra 10% red pollen. Rascal Bee for the 25% red bomb pollen. Stubborn Bee for the extra 20% token lifespan. You don't entirely need Stubborn Bee. I'm not actually sure about the Stubborn Bee. I'd say keep the Stubborn Bee so that way you can get all the tokens faster. So yeah, well, not faster, but like you can actually get them all because the tokens won't disappear as quickly. But yeah, get a gifted Stubborn Bee. Very useful. You do not need a gifted Bubble Bee. You do not need a gifted Bucko Bee, but you do need a gifted Commander Bee, because it provides 5% extra critical chance, not critical power, critical chance, which is so useful. Now, what critical chance does is it will just like, see all these flashy numbers that fly across the screen like that? Those are all criticals. And criticals, I don't know how, like, what the multiplier for pollen is, but I do know that it gives you, like, a ton more. So be sure to get a Commander Bee. Gifted Commander Bee. Demo Bee gives you 15% extra bomb pollen, so it's just like the Bomber Bee, so you're going to want to keep that one. That was the weirdest sentence I've ever said. I don't even think that was an English sentence. That was a gibberish sentence. Exhausted Bee. You do not need an Exhausted Bee. Exhausted Bee will be useless as you will be getting red bombs, not buzz bombs. Buzz bombs are like the white pollen, right? They're the colorless pollen gatherers. That's what it is. Buzz bomb does not affect red pollen. And you're not going to be, well, actually buzz bombs do, but like you're not going to get many of those. You're going to get more red bomb tokens. So Exhausted Bee is completely useless. Fire Bee, you're going to really need a Fire Bee because it gives you times 1.5 extra pollen from flames, which you will be getting a lot of flames. Frosty Bee, you do not need. Honey Bee, you do not need. Rage Bee is optional because it's extra attack. It's the same thing as the Brave Bee. So yeah, it's really your choice. Do you want to be attacking things or do you want to be making more honey? It's up to you. Riley Bee, you are going to want this because it gives you plus 10% extra red pollen, which is very useful. Shocked Bee, you're not gonna need this, but you can have this. I'd say you should get it because of that extra white pollen. Because in the fields, this blue field, it works the same for red fields. Like if you look at like the pepper patch here, it has white pollen in it, so I'd recommend keeping a gifted Shocked Bee for that extra 25% more white pollen. Baby Bee, I highly recommend keeping this for the extra loot so you can get better items and you can get more gingerbread berries bears, and snowflakes, so it's very useful. Carpenter bee, you can have this yes or no, optional yet again, but it's 25% extra pollen from tools, so I'd say you should keep this. Demon bee, you're going to need one of them, specifically one, because you're gonna get red bombs from other bees, and I'll explain what other bees. You don't have those bees. They're extra bees. Now that's tricky, isn't it? But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna talk about that in just a sec here. But you're only gonna need one demon bee because it has 25% red bomb pollen, which will be very useful. You only need one diamond bee for that extra convert rate, which is very useful. 100% convert rate is going to come in handy a lot. Gifted lion bee. I'm not sure about this one. This one is just like the brave and the rage bee. It gives you extra attack, so I don't know. I kept mine in my blue and my red hive just because, why not? I need a little bit of extra attack. So I'd say if you want it, you can keep it, but it's not necessary. Well, if you're attacking, it is, but like, you get my point. Now, music bees, you're gonna want 3 to 4 of these because of the melody, focus, and token link. Every single hive should have 3 to 4 of these. They are so useful. You do not even know how useful that focus and melody is. It's so good. And the token links are really useful. Ninja bee, I'd say to keep at least one of these because it gives you 5% bee move speed, which is very useful. Only one of them though because it is a blue bee and it will hinder your hive a bit. Sky bee, you can have 1 to 2 of these because the red boost token. I don't think having 2 will really do much, so I'd say limit yourself to 1 and replace that other one with an extra spicy bee. 10% red pollen, very useful, and it's got red boost tokens and red bomb tokens, so keep one of them. Fuzzy bee, I'm not sure actually about fuzzy bee. I'm never sure about the fuzzy bee. I mean, it's just up to you. I'd say keep 1 to 3. 1 to 3 is useful. I'd say go for 2 in a red hive, to be honest. Because that extra, because that extra times 1.1 bomb power is going to be very useful for all those red bomb tokens you're getting from those extra bees. So yeah, and keep a second one so that way you get more upgraded flowers. I use three fuzzy bees in my red, my white hive, my every hive that I've been in. I use, of course, well, I have at least 2 to 3 fuzzy bees in every hive I've used, red, white, and blue, and mixed hives, and, is it mixed or hybrid? What do people call it? I call it a mixed hive because it's more of a mixed hive. Spicy bee. Now, this is the key here. This is the best part of it, right? You're gonna want at least one of them gifted because it has flame fuel. You don't need it gifted, but it will help a ton if you have a gifted spicy bee because that flame fuel and extra flame duration. Why you want a bunch of spicy bees is for the reason of not only do they give you the Inferno, which summons 2 extra fire bees. Those were the secret little bees that I was talking about before. Those 2 fire bees, you can summon just a ton of them, and it's insane. It's absolutely crazy. You get so much pollen and honey for it. It's just amazing. So most certainly get a ton of these. I'd say 9 to 15. Maximum is 15, minimum is 9. Because these are the key. Best bees in a red hive. Absolutely needed. Now, why the Inferno ability is useful is not only for those 2 extra fire bees, but it also summons flames. It will summon 6 flames in a little ring on the field. Now, with Scorching Star, it's every 30th every 30th red boost token, it will summon a little Scorching Star, kind of like the Pop Star. It's like a little star that follows you around. Well, right there, look. See? It is, it's gonna be just a red star that looks like this. But, yeah, the flames actually build up the star, kind of like the bubbles do when it comes to blue stars. See, look, when you pick up all the bubbles, it builds up the star and makes it bigger, and it adds some extra stuff. Like, what is this? Pop Star Aura. See, it builds up that, and it also builds up Bubble Blow. But the what is it called? Scorching Star does something much different. Now, you're gonna want a lot of these, has, yet again, the Inferno. Inferno. Why am I recording? I can't even speak. Jeez. But, yeah, you're gonna want a lot of spicy bees for that extra flame, so you get better and bigger Scorching Stars. So, yeah, go ahead, get a ton of those. I talked about spicy bees for a bit too much there, because I kept messing up on a bunch of stuff. I'm sorry. You are not going to need a tadpole bee of any kind, not even one. You don't even need any. Vector bee, Vector bee's a maybe. It depends if you want that extra, the triangulate ability, but you do not need it. It's not essential. It's yet again. I, of course, keep a Vector bee because I'm just like that, and I just keep Vector bees in every hive. Bear bee, you're gonna want to keep Bear bee because Bear bee. It gives you 2 times extra pollen and a bear morph, which is really nice because the bear morph gives you the 2 times extra pollen. This only gives you 5% extra pollen when it's gifted, but that's still pretty useful. Cobalt bee, Cobalt Bee's optional. Definitely Crimson Bee, though. Keep a Crimson Bee 100% and make sure it's gifted. You don't need it gifted, but highly recommend it gifted because it gives you 10% instant red conversion, which will be so useful. So Cobalt Bee is optional for the reason of you will either get 2 times red pulse tokens, like not red pulse tokens, but red pulse beams. Because when I summon my blue beam like that, it also surges over my red bees, but I have none. So yeah, but when you get that red pulse token, it will also summon, or no, the blue pulse token. I'm sorry. When you get a blue pulse token, it will also summon a red pulse token if you have the crimson and the cobalt bee. So I'd say that's optional, 100% optional. Festive bee, go ahead, keep this because it's got the festive gift. Also 10% extra pollen is really useful. Gummy bee, you can go ahead, keep that because like if without a gummy bee, then what is a hive? I mean, you need this. Gummy Bee is essential to every hive. Same with Photon Bee. Photon Bee is 5% instant conversion, which is really good. So go ahead and keep a gifted Photon Bee because those are really good. Puppy Bee, it depends if it's gifted or not, or if you want the reindeer antlers for that reindeer guidance. As you can see, it adds capacity and stacks up to 10 times. So yeah, you don't entirely need the gifted Puppy Bee or just reindeer Puppy Bee or both. I'm not sure. Depends. It's up to you, really. Tabby Bee, go ahead, keep this, because it's extra 50% critical power, which is going to be so good for that extra bomb pollen. Vicious Bee, you don't entirely need this. Now, most people are scared to get rid of their Vicious Bee, but actually Vicious Bee, if you get rid of it, you can make a bit more honey, but I don't recommend removing your Vicious Bee. Keep your Vicious Bee. Don't get rid of it. I'd recommend that. But it's up to you, really. It's up to you. You don't entirely need it, but option. Windy Bee, of course, keep a Windy Bee. Every hive needs a Windy Bee. Windy Bee is so good, but yeah, I don't have a Windy Bee, as you can tell, so I feel like a complete noob right now. But yeah, keep a Windy Bee. And yeah, that's about it for all these bees. Hopefully this tutorial was actually understandable, because like I can't speak, my grammar is terrible, and I can't say words properly in the English language. Hopefully this helped a lot of you. I enjoyed making this. I hope you all, like, just learned a bit of stuff from this. And, yeah, this is the Red Hive tutorial. And I will see you all later. Goodbye!